Just going to finish my lunch here, Jacques, and we'll be off to do the historic walk in Coleman.
Oh, Charlie, look at the flowers.
Yeah, poppies and some violet ones. Hey, we got snow on the mountain up there. Want to have a relaxing sit down there, Jacques? Oh, the Crowsnest Mountain, it's got snow on there.
What, Charlie, look at the little piggy.
Yeah, look at the creek down below here too, and here's the information booth and Coleman events. A bit more about Coleman, Heritage Drive, history, and some of the old buildings, and we have the statue, bro, with the Canadian flag, and there's the Legion, and Coleman Legion, and another building which was the Salvation Army Hall. As we look at Chris's restaurant across the street, used to be Evan's boarding house at one time, and this building looks like a gas station, and that used to be the Motordrome, and the Roxy Theater is across the street. And we move along to this building. It used to be the Coleman hardware store. And across the street, we have the Grand Union Hotel. And we found this in the window there too. Now looking back across the street again, we have Jacques Meat Market. Used to be at one time. And on the corner here, we have this building, which used to be the Coleman Mercantile Store. And we're walking down the historic Coleman, looking across the street. Got a building here of interest. Used to be Charles Nicholas Store. And another old building across the street, Eagles Hall at one time. And now we're looking back across the street again. We got the Morrison Block. And this building here, which is used to be the Italian Hall. And along the side of the building, we find a wasp nest up there. Moving right along. Used to be the Empire Hotel on this corner at one time. Looking across the street, this building needs some renovation. Got a parking pad beside it. Looking down the street at Coleman here, we have a garage across the street. Arctic gas station at one time. And looking down the street at Coleman again, downtown, an old garage here. We got some coke ovens beside the railway tracks. Some old buildings, ruins now. More coke ovens, a whole strip of them there.
Well, Charlie, it's quite nice to see, and looking down the tracks, and we have the Coleman collieries.
Yes, that's the gas station we were looking at there too. That one didn't have a plaque, and we have another building here. It used to be called the XL Building. And this old abandoned house here, going down the street through the neighborhood, looking at an old log type cabin garage. And we're going to take this road along here and look at the rocks up on the hill there on the side as we wander down the street. Got some faces in those rocks there for sure. Standing on the railway tracks looking there, we have a couple of dogs looking two different directions. Oh, they spotted us now. And we got another neighborhood over here. Wildflowers growing. Looking at the neighborhood. What kind of dog is that, Jacques?
Well, I don't know, Charlie, but he's a big one.
Okay, we're gonna head back past this lane and runs along the tracks. Hey, we got a couple of birds here.
Oh, Charlie, that was too good. They stayed around for us.
And the wildflower here, is it? Well, it was a flower on the tree, the last one remaining. And we got some lilacs. A couple of skidoos. You want to go for a ride? And what's that building across the street beside the fire hall? It's the International Mine Office. And the old fire hall, a couple doors down. And yes, it's the old fire hall. New one's across the street. And we got a church on the corner here. across the street, have a closer look. There's the plaque on the wall, St. Paul's Church. And we passed this chair before with the crow on it. And looking across the street, we have the old red and white store at one time. Now we're looking back across the street, kitty corner to where we're standing, and we've got the Canadian Bank of Commerce at one time. And this old building, the Coleman Journal. And a couple little puppies in the box. Looking at the Crowsnest Mountain covered in snow. We're going to take the old Crowsnest heritage route here. Going down the street to the Cameron Block. And one of the old buildings there. Little shop across the street. And we're over at the Coleman Coke Oven. And walking back around the downtown area once more here, some of the buildings. And looking down the street, rediscover Coleman. Hey Jacques, what kind of dog is that? Well, let's eat. You're welcome. Hi. And that wraps up our walk.